What's going on, world? 5 minutes, guys. Again, we got another quick video. Combating inflation. Let's talk about it. So, if you guys had the opportunity to check out some of my recent videos, I've been talking about executive orders. Right now, we're up to executive order number 13. I believe it was my fifth executive order where we talked about transitioning and combating inflation by utilizing our military soldiers in a capacity in which helps to produce and facilitate cost of living amenities and accessories and items in which we utilize on a day-to-day basis at cost, in which the taxpayer inevitably pays into the military to have a strong military. So instead of all of our taxpayer dollars just going into things that we don't really see a good return on, well, the reality situation is just as we created the Space Force, we also have the capacity to utilize our unused millions of acres in land that is sitting stagnant on all of our military facilities across the country as well as around the world, which opens up the opportunity to where we can grow, produce, manufacture, and facilitate everyday cost of living items in which are highly inflated right now, to where we can push those out through a department of uh, economics, or the Department of Economical application of some sort, that we can resell out to the public for near to at cost of production, right? Because the soldiers are already getting paid, and so there's no real necessity to sell it at a profit outside of to maintain the efficiency, which is the integrity of the products or the tools necessary or equipment necessary to keep it running, right? And this will help combat inflation, because instead of having to go to the grocery store and only having the capacity to buy what's available, now we have a new competitor which helps to offset the price point in competition against every other current producer or company in which you go buy your produce or buy your accessories or amenities from. Now, there's a secondary form to this that I want to talk about today, and that is based off of what I said before in my executive order for criminal justice rehabilitation and incarceration to transition to rehabilitation. You know, it is time that we recognize that, yes, the 13th Amendment does have a clause for individuals whom have violated the law, and they have the capacity in which they are being held accountable. But the taxpayer is spending upwards of 60 to 70, $80,000 a year to keep these guys off the street. And the reality of the situation is the taxpayer doesn't see really anything from it. So, in part of transitioning detention centers from jail or prison for 1 year or less, or 1 year or more, that is simply designed to separate and house and incarcerate individuals who have come into a conflict with operating in a legal capacity and they have done something illegal or immoral. Well, now these individuals will be helping to facilitate offset inflation by engaging in the producing, manufacturing, and developing of everyday items in which Americans require, in which are priced exorbitantly right now at the grocery store and at your different convenience centers, etc., etc. This will also help offset and combat inflation in times like we are in right now, right? The true mark of intellect and intelligence is being able to understand and recognize and utilize the resources around you, right? So we're not going after individuals. We are utilizing the resources in which we already have, and we are maximizing the efficiency of the resources in which we already have. So these are my two ways to help combat inflation through executive orders. Like, share, subscribe, follow. And if you are interested, send me a comment, send me a question. We can always have more conversation as to what you believe needs to be addressed and how to facilitate a function in order to negotiate and overcome that obstacle. Because at the end of the day, it's America first, and we have to continue to push forward.